Welcome back to Priority Maintenance Podcast. I am Jeremy. So glad you're here with us today. We are going to talk about how to talk to a customer. If you're in the business world, if you're an entrepreneur, you will have customers. And it's important. Now, there's a lot of businesses that are online and have lost that quote-unquote personal touch. And maybe you don't talk to an individual on the phone, and maybe you're just chatting through a bot or through the internet, through chat software and things like that. But this is in relevance to those who actually do talk to their customers. Maybe you are an employee, maybe you're an employer, maybe you're an entrepreneur. How should we talk to our customers? Well, I think it goes without saying that we try to treat all people, regardless if they're our customers or right. There's this standard of behavior, I would hope, across the board that we try to treat all people with respect, dignity, kindness. Kindness is one of the hallmarks of our business. Our motto is work hard, be kind, and don't complain. And so kindness is a huge part of it. So when you talk to your customer, everybody has bad days. I have bad days. You have bad days. Your employees have bad days. We all have bad days. Your customers have bad days. And if you have been in business long enough, you're going to have a customer who's had a bad day. We don't know what they've experienced up until the point that you communicate with them, but they might take it all out on you. How do you deal with that? I believe the first part is to have the mindset that you might have the opportunity to change their day. You have the opportunity to maybe help their day go a little bit brighter and better. I mean, I've been in that position where my day was sucking hard and I came across somebody who was just showed me a little bit of kindness and then showed me a little bit more, and it changed my perspective, and I thought, well, today's not all bad at least. That gave a lasting impression upon me with that particular business, with that particular employee or employer or owner of that business. And it's the same thing as a business owner for yourself. You have the opportunity to change people's mindsets or to change people's attitudes towards your business just by your attitude. And I've talked to customers when I was young or way in the back, way back when and maybe I was rude or maybe I came across rude or maybe it was misinterpreted. And so I had to clarify and say, hey, no, I didn't mean it that way. I apologize. I've had to apologize to customers before. I think if you're too big to apologize, then you probably need to learn some things about humanity and learn some things about how to treat others. But I've had customers just chew me out. I've had customers who were just, there's no satisfying. There's nothing you could do. And you have to just roll with it, and you still have to maintain some decorum of kindness. Now, I say that lightly. You have to. You don't have to. But in the age we're in with reviews across the internet and everybody sharing what they think about your business, what they think about your products, it only serves you well to not get offended. And that is the first topic I'd like to discuss about how to talk to your customers. 1, numero uno. Do not get offended. People will offend you, okay? And they'll try to offend you. Or they'll say something to dig or things like that. Don't get offended. Just let it roll off. Say, hey, you know what? It's not a big deal. I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that or ignore it or whatever the case might be. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to be abused. You can ask somebody to leave and do it politely. Say, I'm sorry, but I don't appreciate being talked to that way. I would ask that you would just leave the premises, and I appreciate you doing so. Thank you. And I mean, there's lots of different ways, and every scenario is different, obviously. But when you're talking to a customer, you want to be respectful. You don't want to get caught up in drama and things like that. Also, you want to make the customer feel at ease. You're trying to sell your product or you're trying to sell your service. You don't want to oversell yourself. You want to just talk to them like they're a regular person, like you've been where they're at. I've been on the receiving end of somebody soliciting me for their service or for their product. And, I have to say, okay, I don't want to get bogged down in detail or anything like that. I don't want to, if I say no, I just mean no. I don't want to keep getting pressed. I mean, everybody have a robocall? I've had like 70,000 in this last week, and they're all the same one. I don't need to extend my car warranty. So we've all been there on the annoying side of how people talk to us and being proposed by for services and for products. So don't be that person. If somebody says no, just move on. Okay. Second thing is be willing to say no. Be willing to say no. Okay, what does that mean? I've had customers want more, which I don't fault them, want more for their money than what I can reasonably give them. I have a customer who I gave an estimate to recently, and she said, I have a little limited budget, but she's trying to keep tacking on more and more and more work, trying to get as much work as she can with that limited budget. And I just had to put an estimate. I said, look, any additional things beyond this list of items is going to be charged more. And you're going to have to understand that either you accept the estimate or not. And I'm fine with it either way. But don't be getting taken advantage of. And you could be polite to customers and not be taken advantage of. And that's important as well. But you have to be firm. When you talk to customers, at times you have to be firm. Yes, I can do that. No, I can't do that. Or, which will take us to the next item, to be reasonable. Because you've been on the receiving end. You've asked and haggled, hopefully, that you've said, hey, do you mind doing this? Or I see that this is not done right. Can you do this? And I'm in the construction industry, so I understand. We do a punch list at the end of every job. We go through it with the customer. We have them sign off. We sign off, and we go on our merry way. So that way, if they come back, we say, well, you signed off on this. I don't know what happens 6 months from now. And if it's something minor, a touch-up or something like that, I'll send my guy and we'll do it, okay? But don't be taken advantage of. Don't be taken advantage of. And talk to customers. Be honest. Be real with them. And just say, look, things are expensive. Shipping is expensive. Materials are expensive. Products are becoming more expensive. I can't afford not to charge you more, or I can't afford to do that. And just be real with them. And that's really what people are looking for, is authenticity. And when I do an estimate, when I talk to customers, that is the number one thing I try to be, is authentic. I'm not trying to oversell them something. I've actually cost me money because a customer wanted to paint a whole house and they were going to rent it out. I said, honestly, this painting is not that bad. I would not paint the whole house. I would just do touch-up. And you're going to rent out the house regardless. It's going to be just fine. And I saved them like $2,800, $3,000 at least. And so, because it was a small house. And I said, you don't need to do that. And so be authentic. But then also be authentic the other way. Say, if somebody's saying, hey, I don't want this, I don't want this, and they're trying to put lipstick on a pig, so to speak, or trying to cover up bad with something good, just say, well, it doesn't make sense to spend all the money on materials and labor to put a new product over a bad product. And so sometimes you have to walk away from that. And this is just in reference to what I do in construction. You might have to find a different correlation for yourself. And maybe that correlation might be somebody might want to buy a particular product and yours is a little bit more, but maybe it's made in the US and maybe it's made with better materials. And they're trying to show you something online that, well, look at this. This is, $20 less. And you have to explain to them, well, it looks the same, but it's a completely different product made of different materials. And so we always find ourselves in entrepreneurship and in business trying to sell our product and services, and at the same time being realistic with people and not being taken advantage of, because we're in this to make money. And do not fault yourself for wanting to make money. That's the name of the game. We are in business to make money. And a customer is purchasing a product because they find that that product is deemed worthy of their money. And so don't discount the customer's value, but also don't discount your services neither. Anyways, I hope that this podcast finds you well. I hope you like, subscribe, share with everyone you know. Priority Maintenance Podcast. We're not just talking about maintenance. We're not just talking about construction. We're talking about business and entrepreneurship in general. I have some great guests lined up, a whole slew of them. And I'm excited for business owners who are just starting out, like in the last month, and what they're dealing with. Business owners who have been in business for decades, and I'm excited to hear from them. And if you have a story you'd like to share, email us, tell us about yourself. I'd love to interview you over a Zoom call or over the phone. I'm excited about this podcast. I'm excited to share it. I'm excited to learn from you as entrepreneurs and business people, and we can grow together and grow our businesses and our networks and things like that. Have an awesome and great day. Signing off.